Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, our resident millennial. John, how are you doing this evening?
Kind of demoralized, but I'll be all right. I think we'll see.
Demoralized. All right.
Demoralized, yeah.
Are you sure it's not damn demoralistic?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
All right, just checking. I see Random Randy 8 has shown up in the chat this evening first. I see Elephant Man. Ron, I'm hoping that means he's looking for Ron Helton, another
I'm
one of
sure
our
he'll come along at
regulars.
some point, yeah.
He may be
But,
feeding the chickens. I hope they don't
right.
choke. so, you know, he'll be with us shortly, I'm hoping. Keep your fingers
There's
crossed.
Wyatt as well.
I see Wyatt
What's
there
up?
from the breakdown with Birkenhoff. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you this evening on such a
Auspicious.
anticlimactic,
Oh.
quiet, quietly passing in the night evening. Um, I don't know, John. I'm. Are you feeling a little?
I actually feel quite unified.
Do you?
I feel very unified and I feel healed. Glorious leader, Chairman Biden, is going to, just make this country just perfect. It's going to be what I can't wait for the utopia.
I see Sergeant Peterson in the house. Good times are coming. I look forward to it.
Let's hope so.
Elephant Man says he's drinking to pass out tonight. Look,
I
you
hear
know
you.
what? You know what? I'm just gonna put this out
Cheers,
there
Elephant Man. Cheers.
as an older person, and if Ron were here, Ron might, back me up to a certain extent. Although I understand that Ron, is not a fan of the current present day situation. But every time, I don't care which side you're on, every time we have an election and the other party comes into power, there's a whole lot of Chicken Little talk.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
right, right, like the sky is
Yeah,
going to
of
fall
course.
every single time the power changes sides.
Yeah.
Especially when you have something as momentous as having the entire all of Washington, all of Congress and Senate, and the House and the Senate is just the administration. It's all there, you know, lined up to just play havoc in people's minds. And it's not to say they won't. I mean, he came out
Right.
fucking swinging today. I'm just saying.
You did.
He laid out, what was it, 12 executive orders, executive action. Boom, we are back in the Paris Climate
He's trying to
Accord.
get the high score, man.
um, yeah, I
He's
mean
trying to get
he's
that high
just
score.
yeah he's going for broke. He ate a power pellet while he was at the inauguration and took
Yeah, he
off
did.
running. He's on an invulnerable high right now. Alpha Man says, I hate both sides. I was just hoping Trump was different.
I agree.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what? And the thing is
he was.
Trump was different, but I'm going to say this, and you don't have to like it, but to me, the truth of the matter is, after he kind of cowed his shoulders and walked off the stage today, this seems like 4 years of Donald Trump on stage. Like it's like, okay, this maybe that wasn't him. That was just the part he was playing. Maybe that wasn't, you know, you know what I mean? Maybe he was different. Well, was he different, or was he playing different? You know, I mean, if he had gotten
No.
4 more years, he kept on doing whatever it was he was doing. I mean, there was some positive policy change. There was some negative policy change. There was, presidential stuff that went on. If you ignore all of the witch hunt, as it's called, or all of that, it set all that aside, and it was just a pretty run of the mill presidency. Except for this, 2020 stuff. But
Right. So real quick, Ed's talking about lemons over here. Are you not able to donate still? Because we tried to find a workaround on
Here
D Live, but we'll
here's
see if it works. I don't know.
here's the thing
I'll have to check.
with D Live. I've come to the determination because I changed settings like our key tag and stuff like that is not about news. It says gaming. But I don't want to run the risk of being banned or shut down because we take off the age restriction. This is the
Right.
one I think is a strong determinant as to whether or not your monetization is shut off in that way. Um, so
Could be the
I can't.
title that affects it as well.
It could be. It makes me. I don't know where they're. What they're shooting for. What the secret sauce is to get the lemons turned back on, but I don't have a way to turn it on. Do you know how to
But
turn it on, Ed? Have you been able to turn it on your D Live? Because your D
yeah, what's
Live,
going on?
I don't know if that's something that you
Well,
have run into or not.
if anyone out there, not just Ed, if anyone out there is interested in supporting us but can't give lemons because Eli won't let us for some reason, uh, there are other ways.
Subscribe Star
We
is a
have a
great
subscribe star.
way, and it would give us an
Yes.
opportunity to start doing some more stuff. Once
Yeah.
once you join on Subscribe Star, there are show activities that we do that are that are off stream, right?
Yeah.
Trying to do some sort of movie night or something along those lines, and then you also have some input for the show, depending on the tier
Yeah.
you're at. You can even come on the show, like
Right.
host, be a host on the show with your own agenda, your
Your
own
own
agenda,
topic. Yeah.
right? And we're not agenda biased here. I mean, we don't care what your agenda is, as long as we can show it on screen. You can be any agenda, you can bring any agenda you want.
yeah. We'll
Uh,
even talk about the unspeakable stuff. Right.
Ed says
Things
I
we're
can
not supposed to
explain it. I
talk
know what
about.
happened. Yeah, I saw the letter that you posted about what D Live did. I get that, but it's a matter of whether or not we can turn our stream off from that group that they shut down, without compromising ourselves and you know falling outside the terms of service. That's the one. Uh, Alpha Man says if I can give lemons, I would give you guys the rest of what I've bought. Uh,
Man, I
Ed,
wish you could.
Ed says I'm the boss. I can do that anytime. What boss? What boss? What's he
I
the
think
boss of?
he's a boss of Freedom Scoop right now.
Mm, mm.
So technically the boss of us, but like I don't recognize his authority. So
Yeah, but you don't recognize. I bet you do recognize somebody's authority.
no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
go in there and piss in on your dad's shoe.
well, that's not an authority thing. That's a
John, don't
respect
even
thing.
play. Don't even play. He would
that's not an
whoop your
authority.
ass. He would
No,
whoop
not
your.
anymore. He's too old now.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he
You,
is.
you young punks think that. I was a young punk once and thought that. My dad from 6 inches put me through a fucking wall from 6 inches away from my shoulder. And he's like, I will put you through that wall. And I said, no, fuck you won't. Pop, 6 inches away. And there I was, hole in the wall, my shoulder making it. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
so, oh, Ed says to let him on for some reason. Do we want to let Ed on, guys? He says he gives good lemons. Well, apparently not, because apparently you can't.
I, uh,
Ron Hilton says he has lemons to donate as well. You're on D Live's naughty list, unfortunately.
it looks like we
Too
are
bad.
on the naughty list, Ron. It is what it is. So, it's a shame that they won't let you just donate coal then, right? Um,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
I don't love the fact that they did a blanket, just a blanket. You know,
what's the Ed situation real quick? Are we letting him on? Are you
I
doing
don't.
it? Am
I'm
I doing it?
perfectly fine with that. You got to give him the link. You know how to get him
Yeah,
a
I gotta
link,
remember how
right?
to do that. Sure.
I didn't even see him asking to come on. I don't see anything.
He's DMing me on
Oh,
Discord.
why is he? See, he's always back channeling. Uh,
I know, right? He's gotta use his connections to get on shows and stuff. Come on, man. I'm just kidding, by the way. Uh, he's always welcome here.
who?
Um,
Who's always welcome?
Ed.
No, he's not.
Oh,
Not always welcome. There are sometimes you just don't want the Ed. So,
invite link. Gotta pull up Discord now.
good God, it takes you kids forever to get something done. Technology is not your friend.
No, it's not like no, it's just me. I'm actually like specifically retarded when it comes to technology. I don't know what it is. Like shit just does not work right with me. And like it's always things that people who know what they're talking about are like, I've never seen that before. I don't know what it is. Always happens to me though. I don't know what it is. Like if
Elephant
it's
Man,
shit that like is supposed to work and there's no reason why it's not working, it just doesn't.
Elephant Man says, go watch the blonde interview with Legalman. Decentralization is key. Pay attention to local elections. Most happen in off years. Most of my county positions are up this year. And yeah, I mean, that's again, that's that strong case to be made for if you're gonna, it may be a bad time right now to be a libertarian. I don't know,
It is, yeah.
getting into trying to get into
Back to
politics,
what John
but
Brennan was talking about. Fuck yeah, it is. There he is.
but that Ed, how are you doing this evening, sir? Good to see you.
You let me
What's up, Ed?
on. I give good lemons. I give lots of good lemons.
Do you?
Yeah,
I give good lemons.
yeah, but can you make
John's
lemonade?
sound
That's
could
the
be
key.
raised. It's not bad, but he's significantly quieter. That just might be me
No,
speaking
nope, nope,
quieter.
nope, nope.
So
I
that's the
Am I actually
NPR
lower?
voice.
I'm
you're
being censored by Robert now. D Live first, and then fucking Robert.
no,
God damn it.
That was Ed's fault actually.
Okay.
I don't have control over the meeting, so I don't
You
know how
remember
it's
GP
my
random
fault.
Randy.
But
Monday we played his video and the sound was all kind of
Oh
loud and
right.
wonky, so I adjusted the audio output but never kicked it back up after the video. So therefore,
oh yeah,
Ed's
because
fault.
Flash fucking people can't mix sound. They can make a good Flash video, but they can't mix sound for shit.
You know
Right.
what?
And guys, the ones guys of
Don't be a
you once of
victim.
you people out there who are talking about trying to give us lemons, unfortunately we can't take them right now. However, in our description, you have a subscribe star. So just
I'll
saying.
subscribe your star.
So
Please do.
do you know any do you have you been running into the same problem on D Live, Ed? People can't give you lemons?
Well, it started last Friday because Elephant Man was trying to, I think, throw me some lemons. That's when I noticed it for the first time. But I had noticed it on your channel before that. I apologize for that. That's right. I noticed on your channel first, and then I tested it on mine.
Right.
What happened was, and you guys saw the letter. I read the letter verbatim on my channel this morning after I listened to the RRC yesterday, who was quite, what's the word, livid as fuck.
Right. I bet he
I
was.
mean, he was
I thought
fucking
he was a
screaming
standard
about.
RRC, and that's usually what he is.
No, he's been in rare form for the last couple
Yeah,
days.
no, he was, yeah.
No, no, that normal that
We
he
got to get
is,
him back on. He's
that
awesome.
what he normally is, that's his benchmark, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If he was livid,
He,
it's
right.
woof, nuclear maybe.
He's still
Yeah,
got a
he
couple
did go
octaves he can
nuclear.
go, you know.
He went nuclear today because apparently nobody's allowed to talk about Q in his live chat anymore.
Oh no,
Oh,
no, no, no.
wow.
Well, and that's it's funny.
Well,
I was gonna mention that tonight because I think that's a very funny situation.
well, the worst part of it was is oh shit, my phone just went off.
Really,
The worst part of
that's super gay. All right, go ahead.
it happens. Life happens. No, the worst part of that whole thing was is when he made that announcement. I'd been trolling his chat about trust the plan for the last 10 minutes. By the time he got to that announcement, like shit, I'm getting fucking nuked. But anyway, going back onto this DLive thing, we saw the letter. So basically, what they did is, and I think they showed their hand first off that they're not blockchain, which I've suspected for a while that they weren't a blockchain platform just because of the functionality that they had. I've suspected that for quite a long time. Turns out that they are not blockchain. They are run on a regular video server, just like a YouTube or a BitChute or anything else
Mhm.
like that. They're actually run on the same kind of platform as Twitch is. It's not blockchain. Don't let them bullshit you that because if it was blockchain, they wouldn't have been able to cut off everyone in DC today
Wait, and
and yesterday.
now hold on. Let me see if I can. I need clarification here because I wasn't under the assumption that the video platform itself was on the blockchain.
It,
The monetization was on blockchain. It's on cryptocurrency and blockchain. Now I understood that there was encryption for the videos. that's kind of what I thought, that it was being encrypted after the fact, but the platform itself, I didn't, I would never understood how it could be like a blockchain platform other
You
than
can
encrypted on the stream.
you can do a blockchain video platform. It takes some doing. It takes some workaround, and have good luck having it stable. That the stability of DLive was what really kind of started to make me realize that it wasn't blockchain. But I want to get back to this letter here because I got to jump off here in just a bit and go actually make some dinner because I didn't even put anything away. I just came in here, saw you guys were talking about this, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew because I made everybody aware on my channel this morning. As of you guys probably got an email, I would say in maybe late July, early August, telling you that your channel had taken the X tag. DLive had X tagged you, which I actually freaked out a little bit about that when I got it, but they just said, okay, well, this just means that you're for adult content. We won't market you to children anymore, people who don't have their age or aren't signed in or anything, which, okay,
Right.
all well and good. Most people I'm sending over, I'm taking from YouTube. I'm telling them about my channel. They're coming and subscribing right away. And I
Right.
think I'm set for followers only chat anyway over on DLive. So I didn't really worry a whole lot about that when I first found out about it. But as I don't know if Robert, I'm not looking at the screen right now. If you have, if you got the letter up right now, if you want to put that up on the screen or talk about
No, I don't
this.
have it. I don't have it pulled up. I usually have Discord shut down.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm trying to
I can
remember.
pull it back up.
Was it in your channel or?
I put it
Uh,
in both.
yeah, you did put it in ours, didn't you?
Yeah, I put it in yours. I put it in mine. I thought about putting it in Stevens. I didn't. I texted it to the RRC. Because we all need to know about this. And I didn't get the email directly. I actually had to look that up to try and figure out what the hell was going on. I looked it up and said, okay, why am I not getting DLive lemons? And I came across the open letter that they sent out middle of last week. They didn't send it to anybody. They just put it out on their website as an open letter.
I'm pulling it up right
Basically,
now.
yeah, anybody who is X tagged is no longer eligible for monetization unless your name is Marfugel fucking News, because he's pulling in way too much income for them to shut him down.
Wow.
So,
What they're doing,
yeah, go ahead.
what they're doing basically is they are attempting to make sure that nothing gets organized on DLive that's either white supremacist or illegal.
Sure.
They're shutting it down because of the Capitol protest, and they said that
Right.
explicitly in the letter.
Right.
So all the monetization is down. You're still generating, which honestly, I am going to be. I'm weighing right now. I've got a very large audience on DLive, but I'm weighing not streaming there anymore because the the mining apparatus that mines the cryptocurrency, the lemons, is still functioning on your chat. It functions
Of
by
course.
default, so you're still filling the chest. And I noticed that this morning, and then I noticed it again on RRC's podcast when I watched it over there as well. You're still mining for them, so you're still making them money, but you're not eligible to receive any of it back at this point.
Yeah,
Well-
Elephant Man makes a good point. BitChute Live is coming soon.
Yes, BitChute Live is coming soon.
That would
I'm
be a
going to
much
going to
better
that.
choice.
A lot of people have been recommending Trovo, but yeah, basically,
I haven't heard of Trovo.
DLive doesn't want to cater to anybody who's doing news unless they're making them a whole fucking bunch of money, like Mark Fugel.
Right. Well, I mean, they were originally a gaming thing with a free speech kind of apparatus, I think.
Well, for the most part, no, that wasn't what they were. If you really look
okay.
at it and look at some of what the audience was, it was a gaming platform, but it wasn't for
Yeah.
free speech. It was a thing to pull fucking Turkish kids on. Because that's all it used to be. It was just a bunch of Turkish kids that were playing PUBG and going,
Right.
Right.
And see, that's the thing. You know, that there was I remember when we started talking about getting on to DLive and branching out to it, and it's like, oh, it's a platform, they don't, they're a free speech platform, this, that, and the other, and I'm like, okay, cool. But now it seems like that was just people were going on there and exercising their free speech and nothing was happening because there was no problem yet to bring concern to it. And now but according to them, it's only like 10% of their streaming community is people like us. So yeah, I mean it's not going to be surprising if we are shat upon, as it were.
Well, yeah, it's basically they don't want to do the work to do the moderation for this, so they just came up and said, "Boom, nope, nobody who's doing. We're not going to actually go through any of these channels because like they could go to an RRC or they could even go to a Steven Ignoramus who are actually bringing them in a significant amount of views and lemon donations. They're getting a lot of money off the stream like that. But like your stream or my stream where we're getting 5, 6 people in, well, even yours where you're getting like 1 or 2 people in, me where I'm getting
sir.
5, 6, 10.
Thank you.
What's that?
Oh, we have 2 right now, but we had 3 when you were on there. So just saying, more than 2.
John gets caught up in the numbers. Go ahead.
Well,
Ed.
most of your audience still comes from YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
Congratulations on that, because the rest of us are getting fucked over that.
Well, I guess we're not big enough. I don't know. No one's taking notice. Also,
Yeah.
guys, thanks for hitting the like button over on YouTube. I didn't even ask. Appreciate it.
I get hardly any YouTube traffic on the live view. I get a fuck ton of it. And I've been going back through my numbers again since I've been pulling everything down for the audio platform again and seeing what I get for replay. And I get a bunch of replay traffic, but I am getting fucked on live views on YouTube.
No, it's all screwy what they're doing. It's
well, they don't want to do the moderation. That's kind of where I was going before I got off on the tangent of numbers, is they don't want to do the moderation. They want to come in and say, okay, well, we're just going to shut everything down that had anything to do with politics and let God sort it out, essentially. Like what they used to say about what to do with commies in the 60s. Kill them all, let God sort them out.
Right, God will recognize his own. Yeah.
So they axed everybody's monetization. They said, fuck, we're not going to go and review anything. You're all done. And this is,
well,
I suspect that they weren't blockchain, but this is where I figured out that they weren't. They shut every DLive stream from inside the DC city limits down. You could not stream from DLive anywhere this week if you were in the city limits of Washington, DC.
Yeah, I saw something before about like I think it was Apple or somebody had taken DC off of their GPS service. So if you asked them how to get to DC, it would be like, I don't know, like it just didn't exist.
I know how to get to DC.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sure you could. I'm just saying they weren't helping anyone. They didn't
go down the Appalachians on 76 until you start seeing swampland.
Right. I'm just saying though, if someone was using GPS to get there, they took it off. Fucking insane, dude.
Oh, you kids. When are you when are you going to learn? The state is inevitable. The state is inevitable. I mean, look at the last 2 weeks. Look at the last 2 weeks,
no,
and just look in the maw of the inevitability, right?
Is it not in human nature to resist inevitability, especially like at the inevitability of death, right?
Right.
People spend their whole lives trying to live as long as possible, despite the fact that death is inevitable. It's in human nature to fight the inevitable.
I also resist the inevitability of your mom.
Well, she's dead, so you know that would probably make it a little less inevitable. We've passed inevitable.
So, by the way, Elephant Man is giving us praise. He says you guys have improved tremendously since the beginning. You too, Ed. Oh, thank you, Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Elephant Man's been around for a while. You've been around for a long time. He's an OG, I would say.
Yeah, going live really did help out where I did too, and stopping giving a fuck. Like when I started going live, I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this much music because they'll pop me for copyright, and I can't do this because, and even when I was doing solo videos, they'll pop me for they actually did pop me for copyright and block the video because I didn't blur out the Jimmy Fallon scene when Kristen Gillibrand announced she was running for president. That's the only hard strike I've ever had on my channel.
We're lucky. We haven't gotten a strike yet. Knock on wood.
No, but you got yourself shut down for talking about what was the word?
It was something to do with gates and how they get in the way of like pizza delivery drivers.
All right, Ed. Ed, if you want to give me like five, if you can give us like 5 more minutes, I want to hear some. I'm going to ask some questions about the new administration, and most of it will just be yes or no, that kind of thing. But anyway,
Do I
policies
get to
that'll
do my
go,
Biden
uh,
impression?
policies that'll probably go into effect in this administration, whether you think they will or not. We'll start with an easy one. Will pot be legalized during this administration?
Come on, man. I mean, you saw the damn hipsters, man. It just last year in the '60s when they were all filthy. Man, come on, man. No, I made that crime bill to keep them people from smoking that grass.
John,
I don't think it's going to be legal at a federal level now.
you don't think
No,
federal legalization
No.
will happen during this administration?
The lobbyists
no.
are making too much money. A
Yeah.
lot of the questions that I probably can answer for you are going to end the same. The lobbyists are making too much money. And the paper lobbies makes too much money off keeping
Yeah.
hemp illegal.
All right, reparations.
No.
No.
Laugh if you
No.
will, but do not think that conversation is not going to happen.
Oh,
No,
it'll happen,
the
but
conversation is going to continue
Right.
happening. But if you give reparations, you start to make upward mobility and you lose a voting class, especially if you're a fucking progressive. No,
Yeah.
they'll talk about it and they'll promise it every 4 fucking years, but it ain't going anywhere.
right.
Universal health care.
Nope. Healthcare lobby will prevent it.
But I actually got an email earlier today about signing up for Biden care.
You did
Yeah.
what? Biden care.
Got an email to sign
Is that
up
a
for
thing
Biden
yet?
care.
Is that a
Yep,
thing?
apparently. Just hours after he was inaugurated, yeah.
All right. What about will Roe versus Wade be overturned?
No, again, that's another battleground idea that they can run on.
Yeah.
Can that happen in this administration?
God, no.
I mean, can
They're
he
running on the
overrule
fact
the
that they're gonna-
Supreme Court?
No.
No, and why would he? He's supposed to be on the side of
Yeah,
Right.
that's the first
But-
thing. Yeah, he's
But
on
all
the
we
side
have
of
to
it.
do is have the right case come before the Supreme Court to overturn that Roe versus Wade. Am I correct? So that could happen at any time. Is it less? Is it more likely to happen while there's a Republican heavy Supreme Court before
There isn't a
Biden has
Republican heavy Supreme Court. There's a constitutionalist heavy Supreme Court.
Well,
which thank God for that.
Well, let's not
let's
not pretend the Supreme Court is not split on political lines constantly.
let me actually back this up a little bit, because this is probably one of the things I've recommended numerous times if Democrats actually want to do this. Now, they're sitting right now on the fact that they can just go back and say, oh, precedent, oh, precedent. They can just repeat that over and over again. And all of a sudden it's safe unless a Republican comes in and starts appointing Supreme Court justices. And then it's, oh, well, they're going to overturn it and they're going to ignore precedent, and your right to choose is going to go away, and you're going to be barefoot and pregnant in your kitchen. And all men want to just make you pregnant and keep you in the kitchen and keep you away. And you're never going to have a job anymore. And you're going to be a slave and red robe and white hat, and read another fucking book.
Wait,
So
say what you really mean, Ed.
So anyway, going on to that, if they do get the right case in there and it gets overturned, first and foremost, it gets kicked back to the states. The overturn would be the federal right to it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the overturn to that. But that would actually probably push Congress to do something that they have been very, very reluctant to do, because a lot of the members of Congress, especially Democrats that reside in blue states, cannot vote yes on federally granting abortion, making it the law of the land legislatively, and then go home to their home states and expect to get reelected.
Right. So I think a really good question. I think a really good question to ask is, do we think that they're actually going to expand the Supreme Court, like they were talking about, before the election?
I don't know. I really don't.
That's what I would be worried about. The Supreme Court has way too much power right now.
Yeah,
I think if the interstate compact goes in and they get enough states signed on for that, then they do, because then they only have to worry about campaigning in New York and California.
So, okay, I guess I should rephrase the question. Do you think they're going to try
Once
to
again,
expand the
I don't
Supreme
think
Court?
it will depend on what happens with the interstate compact.
now
That's going to
Okay.
be a big key point to a lot of the big agenda that they try to do. For the most part, it was a lot of just making stupid promises. The filibuster might go away, but I think that Schumer, as much as he's trying to promise his New York Congress people that he's going to do it, because otherwise AOC is going to jump up and primary him, and she's already talked about doing that. And scarily enough, I think she can win, which scares the fucking shit out of me that New York is that fucking stupid. But I mean, they like the Yankees, so. With that, I think he actually might take a shot at the filibuster. But I think that's the point that Manchin becomes the boogeyman essentially and shuts it down. I think that's a big part of the reason that he's there and he's towing the line that he is. So they can maintain the filibuster. The biggest fear right now on Democrats' minds for eliminating the filibuster is if the populists rise up, if the people rise up, because they can't, without gun force, they can't just shred the Constitution. As much as they would like to shred the Constitution, they can't just shred the Constitution. Otherwise, there will be an armed uprising that comes back against them.
I don't know about that. I really don't.
There will, if they shred the Constitution, there will be an armed uprising. I can promise you that, because Wyoming, they may not get anywhere, but the people would rather be dead than live under the tyranny that will be presented to them. And a lot of them will be dead.
Yeah, but there's like 12 people in Wyoming. I mean, then obviously I'm hyperbolic, but I just don't. I think the right is very impotent right now.
Yeah, but if they shred the Constitution, there will be an armed uprising. So the big fear with ending the filibuster is the same thing that they saw with the Supreme Court picks and the federal judges. If they make it the rule and somehow Republicans get enough support back up, which they've got a very hard road in 2022 for the Senate, by the way. And I've been saying that for quite a while. They have a very hard road in 2022. But if for whatever reason populism rises through and Republicans get a 51 vote majority in the Senate in 2022, all of a sudden now they have a mandate without a filibuster sitting in their way.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't think I think that they're going to make a big fuss that they're going to take a crack at the filibuster. But Joe Manchin he's not there because he's principled. He's there because they're scared that they're going to lose that power to the Republicans. So he can make a big stink and make it not happen. And then, oh, well, Joe Manchin, he's the heel. He's the heel. Just go heap all your blame on him. And yet the institution's still protected.
Right. Gotta have the patsy.
Yep. That's a good word for him. I said the heel, but patsy's a better word for him.
Yeah.
John, do you think do they have the precedence to expand the Supreme Court? Do they have anything to rely on to justify expanding the Supreme Court?
It wasn't originally 9, was it?
It was originally 3.
Yeah, it was originally 3. So yes, there's precedent. It's old precedent, but it is there.
They could, and here's the worst part of this: they could actually justify it right now. They can get there. There are 13 U.S. district courts, and there was supposed to be a Supreme Court justice for every district court.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so they could actually justify it right now. I don't like the fact that they could justify it, but they could justify it right now.
Right.
Well, I honestly, I hate to say, I honestly believe that a reduction in the amount of justices on the Supreme Court would be more in order than an expansion.
That'll never happen.
I get that.
Especially
I'm just saying.
Not under a Democrat.
I mean, if it were a perfect world scenario, I would honestly say that the Supreme Court should be made up of 3 judges. Period. One Democrat, one Republican, and one non-affiliated judge. Mm-hmm. And leave it at that. Because then you have realistic decisions being made on the smallest scale possible with just 3 individual minds that we trust, right? It'd have to be people we trust, but particularly the non-affiliated individual, right?
Mhm.
We have to be sure
Mm.
that he
That,
runs middle of the road, right? But it gets so convoluted, especially when you're trying to stack the Supreme Court. That's what it becomes, is this game to stack the Supreme Court. The moment you start getting into multiples of 3, twos and threes, odd numbers and shit, and how many we have. Okay, so now we bump it up to 13. That just means, okay, now the race is on to get 7 from your party in there, right? That's the
Mhm.
yeah,
race. And then everything else is gravy. It's bonus after that. And then your only job is to keep them alive,
Mhm.
for
So
forever.
I mean, they get better healthcare than we do, so can't
my
be difficult
thing
to keep them alive.
my thing with the Supreme Court, if I actually got by some populist fucking miracle elected president in 2024, which once again, if you guys get me to 2,000 YouTube subscribers, I'll run. But if
Yeah,
by some
fuck yeah.
ungodly miracle I wound up getting myself in, and all of a sudden J. Edgar's the president, a lot of really good things would start happening at that point. But I would start pushing for a constitutional amendment to set the number at 9, because you can change it, you can repeal a constitutional amendment.
Right. It's just
So
very difficult.
it is very difficult. So, and I recognize, and when I would start making the promotion, I would say, I recognize that somewhere down the road, we may need more justices. But I want you to actually have to work at it to get it to happen, not just have something to threaten the other side with for the rest of the time. Because right now, it just takes a House resolution. A House resolution pass the Senate and go to the president's desk is all it takes to change
Right.
the number of justices on the Supreme Court.
Now,
They
Ed,
have the ability to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call you out
Yeah.
on something, Ed.
What's up?
So it like, okay. Now I know, I kind of take it with a grain of salt when you say if I get to 2,000 YouTube, if I get to 2,000 subscribers, I'll run. Okay, I find some humor in that, right? I'm hoping there's supposed to be a little bit of humor in there. But
Oh, I'm
if
serious.
you're serious, let me ask you this: why aren't you tackling something at a more local level? Why not?
I'm working
Why
on
not?
that right now, actually. I was waiting. My girlfriend just broke up with me. We were actually planning on moving in together this coming spring. So I was going to be leaving the community that I live in now. So I wasn't going to run until I was established into a new community on a local level. Now that I know that I'm going to be sticking around here, I'm looking for what offices are vulnerable in the local area. Because I was leaving county too. So going to run for something in Rock County when I would have been living in Jefferson County would have been fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because in the chat there was a couple of things says real quick. I noticed Henry's here. Of course, he's first. Welcome. Good to see you
Actually.
tonight, Henry. Thanks for getting us started off in the chat. Um, but, Elephant Man makes a good point. He says, "Who enforces the law at your house on your street?" He said, "The county sheriff is the most important election in your community," and
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, that is actually a very good point. Like there are some
Is
local officials that carry a lot of weight and power, and thus in that capacity, their voice is heard more often, and lays good groundwork for moving up through the food chain, as it were, in making some larger run, whether it be at the state level or a federal level. You know,
Yeah.
um, but because I think that's important. It's like we joke about it. During election season, people who jump the shark and go straight from their recliner to the podium running for president. And it's like, you know, I bet you could do a lot of fucking good on a local level.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Unless you're an idiot. Maybe you're an idiot. I don't know. But,
Well,
I'd love to
I
see
think
you
I
get the
told you this.
chance.
I think I told you this before, but back in 2018, when I was just about name dropped her too, my ex walked out on me. I'm not going to dox her too.
no. That would
It's
be
it's hard enough being her already. Now throw doxing on top of that. I'm not going to do that.
yeah, that'd be scummy either
She's already
way.
a cunt. It's hard enough living as a cunt. Then you have to get doxed on a small rated web show too. No, when she broke
Right.
up with me, and I didn't know where I was going to be living after she broke up with me, come election time, I actually had the paperwork ready to send in to the Wisconsin Elections Board to run against Tammy Baldwin for the Senate seat that was up in 2018.
Nice. Well,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
well, if you ever need a speechwriter, let me know. I'll refuse it off, for moral standing, but but
Well, I can tell you this: if I did wind up somehow by a miracle getting into the presidency, I've already promised the um, press secretary spot to the RRC.
Naturally, of course.
oh yeah,
Yeah. How would you not?
um, I would like a I'll take a low profile, low maintenance cabinet position.
Yeah,
Nothing,
you give me
nothing.
infrastructure because I know you're not doing anything with the roads. So,
Yeah, nothing too crazy or anything. Just something,
yeah.
something I can do with a controller, right in hand. Um, It'll be fine. But so okay, and one other thing I was going to ask about, especially with the pandemic, and since folks seem to love printing money in Washington. Another thing with this administration, and remember when I talk about this administration, I am on the understanding that is the Harris Biden administration, right? I know which way
Yeah.
the wind is going to blow throughout this administration,
Come on,
but a
man.
UBI, some sort of pandemic initiated UBI.
It's going to be another one of those things that they are going to promise. Then they're going to promise left and right. But the thing with UBI, and this is the same thing that goes along with a lot of the other fiscal programs, like welfare, they can keep you on the fucking teat and keep it to you forever. But UBI doesn't favor one group over another. Keep that in mind. So they can
Right.
throw the welfare out to favor one demographic group, and I'm not going to say that out online, especially given the fact that I said that I might run for president.
Right.
That'll get fucking clipped. But with welfare, they can target that to one demographic group over another. With UBI, it's universal, so it doesn't favor somebody. So of course, the white people will get those evil cis white men will be able to participate in the government T too. The ones that they keep talking about are cis.
Right.
So UBI, it's something that they'll promise because it sounds really good, but it's something that's never going to take off because, like I say, it doesn't favor one group over another.
Well, so that I don't know. It's going to become right now. It If the conversation were to be had in Washington, which it is, especially with the new administration coming in and knowing people that are involved in the administration that were previously having the discussion before, that this is a thought that they think is would be beneficial at least in the short term through this pandemic, like and by short term at least through 2021, possibly 2022, that we're going to be needing to make economic recovery, right?
Yes,
And of
but let me
course,
remind you of something. Federal income tax had a sunset on it.
Yeah, it's true. It was
uh,
supposed to.
so just remember, rules get changed at the drop of a hat now. It isn't like the old days where shit would take forever, depending on what it was, right? I mean, certain things will get bogged down in the mire of the swamp, while people try and tie it up. But other, catastrophic things, like this pandemic have and Black Lives Matter, right? All that movement have created this dynamic now where things need to be done by executive order. Things need to happen and be pushed through the process, not waiting on the 45 days in sitting in this office, 45 another 60 days here, another 30 to 60 days here. There are time frames set up, but that we're starting to go at warp speed now, when these things are happening. So changing things on the drop of a dime is not something you should be, thinking is not going to happen. I mean, it's just crazy right now. You know what I mean? What did he sign today? He signed a mask mandate right off the bat. Out it just short time into office. He's got a mask mandate for every federal office, every federal land. If you are on federal property, you must be wearing a mask. Right? Boom. Just like that.
Well, see,
Just
he
one of the
actually
many
has
things he did.
jurisdiction over that, so he can do that.
Right.
Sure, but I'm just saying. I mean, it came in signing off on executive action in regard to the pandemic, and at the same time immediately reversing, a handful of things from the Trump administration, right?
Well,
I
to
mean,
be
and this
fair, that's what Trump did as soon as he came in, and that's what Obama
sure.
came
Yeah.
as soon as he came in, and
So
going
yeah,
all the way through the history of the fucking executive order. That's
right,
nothing new.
right.
That's
So,
usually the
Yeah.
that's the first day that they do. They
but
just sit
is
down
how
and
but see, it's just the difference of how heavy-handed it is now and how blatant it is now. I mean, it wasn't like you were sitting around like scrutinizing every executive order that happens. Like the Obama the the after effects of the Obama administration and then into the Trump administration, it created a different dynamic. It really did. It's just like
you know what
everything's
the
being
dynamic is
watched
though,
now,
right?
huh?
You know what the dynamic is though, right?
Big Brother.
No, CNN needs to sell commercials. It's all a fucking reality show. It's been a
Yeah.
Sure,
reality show since halfway through W's second fucking term, since
but
Katrina happened.
that doesn't mean it's not exposing things and and making a lot more things in our face. I mean, I get it that executive orders were happening in the past, but now
It's a ceremony.
it's becoming like a shoot from the hip kind of situation. Boom! I don't want to have to fight through this mog and mire that's in that is Congress executive order. Pachow, pachow, pachow. It's like they're walking in with six guns loaded now. It's just fucking crazy, and I don't love that because that is more of that state inevitability coming right at you. That is part of its growth, is its ability to just exert its power.
A lot of that was Congress ceding power over to W because it was a crisis, and Obama because he's such a martyr. He's the first black president.
Yeah.
But it's becoming a standard. That's my point. Is it's becoming a standard. It's like, nobody's
Yeah.
surprised today
Well,
that
I mean, temporary power is never temporary,
No, that's it.
except for in one case. There's only one case in history that I could think of, at least. Maybe there's more, but there's only one case in history where someone gained emergency powers and gave it back. One time. Out of how long we've been around? I mean,
right.
some say like 5,000 years, I would say.
So it's just,
I mean, it's pretty rare.
it's just
What
one of
was the
those.
case? I'm curious about this.
Cincinnatus, he was a Roman consul that was given dictatorial powers to deal with the barbarian threat against Rome. And once that threat was dealt with, he stepped down. He gave the power back and then stepped down, resigned from office.
I will see your Cincinnatus and I will raise you one George Washington because
Okay, I
he
mean,
was
he
also given
didn't
the
have.
option to be king for
It's
life.
true, but he wasn't given that power and they gave it up. He just declined the offer of getting the power. So I mean, it's similar. But I don't know if it's 100%, but that is another good example. Yeah, that's fair. I'll even yeah, I'll give you that. Fair enough.
Yeah, that could have been construed as hypocritical though.
All right,
Take it.
Boomer. You got any more questions for me? I'm hungry.
I didn't have any questions for you in the first place. You just
Yes,
barge
you
in.
did.
You just barge in here, wanting to be on the show, talking your smack about lemons. So I thought, well, what the hell? We haven't heard from an asshole all day, and I didn't feel like farting. So I was like, let's ask Ed some questions. So
It is
thanks for
always great to be here, though. So
It is, yeah.
thanks
It is
for
great to be
stopping
here.
by, Ed.
everybody, make sure that if you're not subscribed, you get subscribed. Get on this channel. Get these guys up there. Get their numbers up towards mine because they need to be. And fuck D-Live. I would say subscribe to them on D-Live so I can give them more lemons, but fuck
Well,
them.
Yeah.
I'm going to use DLive as a motivation to go ahead and get us on some of the other channels and just start doing a lot more shotgun blast, basically. So it's like, if we get dropped from this channel or that channel, there's still a half
There's somewhere to
dozen more
go.
avenues to go.
Yeah.
I may be proposing something in the background here with one of our mutual friends to see if we can do something to make sure that we don't all get banned either. But I have to see what the technological feasibility of it is, and I'm going to. I don't know if you'll get banned for me saying this, but I'm going to learn to code to see if I can't help move some of this along.
Oh shit.
Oh my goodness. Now you're just talking naughty. Naughty. I
Right.
love that. All right, Ed, get the hell out of here. Go put your groceries away and leave us alone.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
Ed.
Thank
Have
you
a good
very
night.
much for
Everybody
coming
subscribe
by.
to these guys. Check out Freedom Scoop. All
And
the good stuff. These guys are great. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
we are. It's true. Ed's right.
we'll see you in the
All right,
morning on your show, right?
Ed.
Yeah,
That's
Yep,
right.
contemporary.
that's it.
Yep.
All right, man.
Take care.
Yep.
So Elephant Man says George should have been king and things would be a lot simpler. We would still be under the
Yeah,
Articles of Confederation, a libertarian's wet dream. I don't know,
that's
man.
true.
You know what? But see, that's just it. It goes back to that power corrupts. I mean, if you tell there's a difference between telling somebody that you're a duly elected official and telling somebody they're a king.
Yeah.
Because, I don't care how libertarian you are, if you're told you're a king enough, you start to feel like a king, not a
Right.
libertarian, you know?
That's why it was a bad idea for him to become a monarch.
Right, right. I'm kind of proud of little Georgie, declining that offer.
Yeah,
What a nice
little
guy.
Georgie. Yeah. Good for
I,
him.
I cannot tell a lie. You didn't put it in a
But
cherry
let's
pie.
go back and catch some of these chats that we missed while Ed was rambling on. Love you, Ed. Ed's awesome, guys. If you haven't already, go sub to J Edgar on YouTube. He's awesome,
Elephant Man
as you
says
can see.
he's considering running for local. What did you say?
Dude, do
Local
it.
office. Uh, local office. So I don't know what office, but he says UBI actually is more about equality and less about equity. Actually,
Right.
that's absolutely
That's why
true.
it's bad. Right. That's why they can't. That's why they don't want it.
Uh, Henry says digital fiat is going to be the end of the last shred of we have freedom. They're going to
The freedom
implement
we
it.
have is what he meant.
Freedom we
Okay.
have. They're
Yeah.
going to implement it through UBI and gain mass adoption this way. Bait and switch. Well, yeah, and I could see that, you know, like Andrew Yang sold UBI in a certain way, right? A believable premise
Well,
where,
he made decent arguments for it if you didn't already know why it was not going to work.
well, I mean, but on the flip side, it's also coming from a layman's perspective versus, he's actually, a businessman and an economist. He's
Right.
got economic education. So I'm not saying that, it would work. What I'm saying is that he's got a stronger platform to argue
He's an
the
expert.
fundamentals of it than us laymen
Than
out
I
here that
would, yeah,
say
for sure he
that
does.
it,
Yeah.
it, it
I mean,
wouldn't
if
work.
we were
But
to debate it, he would absolutely defeat me. That's not what I'm saying. Of course he would, because he knows the subject much better than I do.
but having said that, I could see that the power of the UBI being in the wrong hands
Yeah.
could definitely be turned into a method of state control.
Oh, for sure, because they can just turn it off.
Right, very easily.
Yeah.
But since why aren't you guys wearing masks? Because Biden is awesome and he destroyed COVID. Best president ever. Nice. Elfman says stop paying for cable or TV. I will say this: I don't pay for cable anymore. I haven't paid for cable
I
in
don't either.
5 years
I have a couple of streaming
more.
services, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't. I don't pump into that anymore, and
Yeah.
kills me. Of
I
course,
also pay for YouTube Red, so but that's because I hate ads. Nothing to do with wanting to support YouTube. I just hate ads.
right? Well, it's I don't know.
Fucking hate
They're
ads. It's
they're so shady with their ads, the way they do
oh
them.
dude,
Oh God,
so bad.
what kills me the most is that it's like you're not even you honestly can't be targeting you what are you doing? Why are you targeting an audience? Like, why are you targeting a children's show that's made for toddlers? Why is there a 20-minute NASCAR ad slash short
because a lot of
documentary?
people are watching it. A lot of kids are watching it.
Watching what?
They're watching the
But
whatever kids
why do
show
but
that's
why do
on.
I need to see a grown up commercial if I'm a toddler? It means nothing to me. I'm like, what kind of stupidity is that? And it's a 20-minute commercial. Come on, YouTube, get it together, figure it out.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'll be the day.
Elephant Man says democracy, or more accurately, representative democracy, is not feasible. We would need 150,000 reps. That's true,
Yeah.
and see, that's we don't have any way to have equal representation anymore. We just don't. I mean, even by population, I don't think the population levels out in equal representation in Washington either. I mean, maybe it's just me, but it doesn't seem to balance. Henry says most people don't care where the money comes from. They don't care if it's their own money or money from the rich. Just look at all the stupid people going nuts over the stimulus check.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
Their own money is what he follows
it's,
that with, which is
it's their own money,
100% true. Yeah.
but
Give me my fucking money back. Just give me my money back.
but
What I
that
paid in, give me that.
but I mean,
And stop taking it.
if you got to remember that that is part of how the corporatocracy starts to seep in. Is I mean, the cost of goods goes up enough to where like you struggle to get by on a decent wage, and whenever the government dangles some fucking carrots out there, well, guess what? You're going to jump up and eat that carrot because you're hungry. You're going to be
Yeah.
hungry. I mean, the way it all works, it manages to keep enough people just hungry enough that if you dangle the right carrot, they will all jump. It
Oh yeah.
is it is it is how you control it.
Well,
And
it's like, yeah, they dangle the carrot from a hook, and people just don't see the hook sticking out of the carrot, so that when they jump up and nibble on it, they get fucking caught
did you watch any
like
of the
fish.
did you watch any of the inauguration
I
today?
watched the entire thing.
Um, so then maybe you'll agree with me when I say, and they justify all of this that happens as they dangle those carrots under this idea that they're doing God's work. Like,
Oh well, that's old stuff.
did you not get a definite Jesus vibe from the inauguration? I watched it for like a half hour, the last half hour, and I was like, what's happening here? Am I at church or am I
So
at an
that's always
inauguration?
the case, though, right? They always say, God bless you and God bless America. God
That's
bless
my
you and
point.
God bless America.
Yeah, but
They've
what was the
always done
first
that.
after he was sworn in? What was the first song they sang?
They did Amazing Grace, right?
Amazing Grace.
But that dude's voice was
I don't give
phenomenal.
a shit how well he
I'm just
sang the
saying
song. The point is, it's the
he
song
was
that was
fucking
sung,
great.
and that's my
Right.
point. Is like we're doing God's work, and like that's the ultimate. That's the paraphrasing of what's happening as they do these things. I mean, we're out there fighting for you to make life better for you. you know and they ignore things like they talk about these economic gaps and these distances and
Yeah.
poverty levels and the one percenters and all of this, but they talk about it, and they it's only enough to make you think that they're concerned about it and change is going to happen. And the whole time they're talking about it and keeping you distracted with the talk, your prices are going up, your wages aren't moving very quickly. Once upon a time, you got, every job you expected, no matter what job you went to, you were going to have a raise at least once a year. At least once a year, you were going to have
Yeah.
some sort of, hourly increase or percentage increase to your. Now people are like, maybe I'll get a raise this year, maybe I won't. And it's gone on some of this major evaluation system where it's like, oh, if you don't score this many points, you're not elected president.
Well, that's some big
Right?
corporate nonsense, guys. If you can, don't fucking work for a massive corporation. I mean, try not to. I'm not. Not everyone has a choice. I understand. You still got to make your ducats. I respect you for that. But if you have the choice, fucking don't do it.
Yeah, but
I don't care what kind of management position they give you. I don't care if they give you like a, at the corporate office. Don't fucking do it.
well,
They're just gonna fucking cut you in a second.
but
Don't
even
do it.
you may, even though you think you're working for a mom and pop, they're their own small corporation too. A
Yeah,
lot of
but it's more
times,
personal there.
or they're
It's more
tied,
personal.
to a corporation. I mean, and it's hard not to work for a big corporation. I mean, mom and pops own McDonald's franchises, right? It's a mom and pop business. They own one franchise, but they're beholden to the bigger corporate umbrella, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
you need to
Franchises.
support those people in the community as well, right?
The
You know,
franchises? Yeah, I mean, you don't
you're
have
right there,
to.
but they're small business owners just like anybody else that's running Joe's Pizzeria, right? They just happen
Yeah,
to have bought into a McDonald's and that's their small business. So, it's hard to get away from the corporations if you think
yeah,
about wanting to help local businesses kind of thing because they're so deeply rooted into our economy. Um, but and not working for them is next to impossible in a lot of places. Henry says if there were more like Pornhub ads, I would cancel my YouTube if there,
I
right. Uh,
agree.
Elfman says you got to keep going. I have 10 ounces of growler left. You won't last 5 minutes playing this game.
Yeah, I know.
I
I was
love
like,
those
what,
promos. You
they
won't
gonna
last
kill
five
me
minutes.
or like,
Shit, you
like
won't
challenge
last.
accepted?
I'm like, I'm every time I look at it, I'm like, yeah, but it's fake. Kind.
Right.
It's still not the real
Actually,
thing.
Internet Historian has a really good video about that, where he clicks on like all these different pop up games that show up on the side of whatever you're
Right.
looking at, like whatever things, little yeah. And he played one that like didn't have an ending. It just like as he went on, like it was a little bit of a game there. It was something, and then it was like a choices game. It had like a actually kind of a decent story that you're like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen, and then just nothing. And
Okay.
you're like, well, what am I supposed to do here? Like,
I all
I mean,
right.
that was it. They were probably just getting your data or some shit. I don't know.
I'll offer up my own confession. I followed one through, and
Ah,
and it was an idle game. And basically, you ran a webcam apartment building, and so you were hiring girls on to do different stuff for
right,
webcam shows, and it would get more pornographic and this, that, and the other. And one girl,
right.
would be solo with a dildo or whatever. Or you'd have
They start
one
off
girl
with just like the
invites
cleavage,
a
like e
friend,
girls on
has
Twitch, and
right, has a friend come over and he gets it on with her, that kind of stuff.
right.
But you've got all these rooms and you're like trying to expand your webcam business
See,
with
now
all
that's a
these and get
libertarian entrepreneur right there, man.
right, get new
You
models
just
on and
buy a
everything.
whole apartment building and just be like, you get a free room, but you got to pull in this amount, otherwise you're out.
Right.
Do whatever you want in there, though. Like whatever you're gonna do in there, do in there. It's not my business. But you better be putting up these numbers, or you're fucking out.
uh,
That's pimping right there, man. I'm just saying that's pimping right there. Shit.
Henry said Henry claims to make shivs out of carrots. Nice.
I don't believe him somehow.
I couldn't. Elvin says I couldn't watch any. My wife made me watch Garth Brooks, and I was out. God, yeah. I was like,
Garth
was that
Brooks.
Garth Brooks? And he did something, got some laughs from the crowd while somebody else was getting ready to start speaking. Oh, Ed says I will say more Osteen than Jesus. Yeah, Olstein. Yeah, that sounds right. Joel is
It's
Jesus'
Olstein
cousin.
though. Osteen is the town that's in Florida. About Joel Olstein.
Right. But oh, Nephilim Ninja shows up in the house. He's up there. What are you guys discussing? How
Well,
we
most
love
recently
Biden
we were
and China?
discussing porn
Oh,
and
oh,
entrepreneurship.
let me ask you a question, just so I'll know, maybe because
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused, as to what fucking difference it makes.
Okay.
China putting 28 sanctions out on individuals associated with Trump and his administration. 20, what the fuck what does that mean? So that now you just can't they can't go to China?
They
What?
might have. They either might. I don't know. I didn't see this. Most likely that those were people that had some sort of businesses in China, and they're going to be forced to shut down. That's my guess. I don't know.
Oh.
I didn't see this. I didn't hear about this, so I have no idea.
So they're going to be frozen out of any Chinese business dealings.
Right. As far
Gotcha.
as I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I
So
don't know. That's my guess.
does Trump have property over there?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's not good. I thought they were best friends. I thought
No,
Xi
he was
loved
not a
him.
fan.
I thought he loved Trump.
No. What?
Everything
They
I
were
heard,
no.
everything I heard was
No, that was Russia. That's Putin.
Trump said Xi loved him. They were well, like
Oh,
Kim
right.
Jong
That.
Un
Yeah.
actually loved him, but
Right. Well, that's
he
true.
still said Xi was a fan of his. They got
Right.
along great. They were good friends. I thought that was the thing. Did I miss something?
We've been over this, Robert.
You know, friends don't let friends sanction friends. Um, but uh, Element says, Ed, go back with a critical eye to the word. You'd be surprised how much they got right. Yeah, I know what they're saying. Henry says internet historian is the best.
He is awesome.
Is that a YouTube channel? Is that correct?
Yeah. I've showed him to you before.
Oh, yes,
I've
you
definitely
have
showed you
had.
some of
Yes,
his
I remember
videos.
now.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh, also, Ed, you have a representation of some of your constituency. Two
Two
more
more
ounces.
ounces. The elephant
He's
man
counting
said, "We're
down
trying,
us,
man.
right?
Yeah, we're trying to help you finish that up."
Henry says China can extradite Trump supporters. Nice. Yeah, they can. Well, they can pretty much do anything they want because they're like China, and it's like they make up their own rules. It's funny how that it happens with a different fucking country, right? Oh, they're making up their own rules. They want to do things their way. Ah, not that I love China or anything, but I'm like, why are we fucking surprised by anything that happens in China, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Nephilim says the nail that sticks up gets hammered down. Yikes. Um, uh,
Yeah.
Depending on which way it's facing, like, you know, if the head's up, it's fine. But it's hard to nail a nail with the pointy end. he,
I guess
Random Randy
so.
says he loved him long time. I can get that. That's a she reference. I like that.
I get it.
I love you long time. Long
I
time.
rub you wrong time.
Okay, it's
Sucky
all in
sucky
my ball
badar.
jars. Okay, it's all in my ball jar. So whenever you're done, I'm done. Thanks.
Oh, we have to give
We can.
Elephant Man's permission to end the stream. So.
We can. Whew. All right. Finally, we can wrap this up. I bet we went over. Did we go over? We went over a little bit.
A little
Thanks.
bit, yeah. But we
Thanks,
also
Elephant
had
Man.
to deal with Ed. You
Yeah.
know how Ed is. We had to deal
It's
with that
it's the things we do
guy.
for our fans. I want you to
I
know
know, right?
these
He
are
didn't even
these
pay the, come on our show and talk about a topic thing. We let him on anyway. Fucking awesome guys.
right. Right? Where did that kind of now he's sleepy. Oh, okay.
I'm
So
good.
great. We've put you to sleep. Now you're gonna hold that against us. Well, just do us a favor if you haven't done it already. Make sure and hit the like button. We always like likes if you like what you're liking. John, if you could you direct these lovely people to any information they might need as to getting a hold of us in your nice, succinct, wonderful way?
I absolutely can. In fact, I would be honored, nay, privileged to do so. Or is it the other way around? Privileged, nay, honored. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, I'm both. Um, oh, Pagan shows up asking no limits. Unfortunately, we're on the naughty list, Pagan,
Yes.
so no limits. But I'm about to tell you how you can support us in other ways. Down in the description of both DLive and YouTube, we've got our Twitter, which is at the GenGapP. So the link is over there. So if you don't follow us, please do, because we lost a bunch of subscribers during the Twitter purge, and we can't afford to lose any because we don't have that many. So
Wow, I
you guys
didn't
would be
even
willing
realize we
to.
lost that many.
Oh yeah. Uh, so if you guys are able to follow us there, I mean, I'm on there. I try to keep you guys entertained. Try to, whatever. I just talk a lot of shit. Shit post. We got our Discord server. If you're not in there already, go jump in there because it's awesome. There's good people in there, a lot of good information in there, and you'll get your notifications. Even if YouTube doesn't send them out, you'll get your 30-minute notification there. So make sure you go and check us out over on Discord. And then, since we can't get lemons anymore, we're going to be pushing our subscribe star. We got a subscribe star. We got perks. Go check it out. Links again in the description. Um, Figure out which perk you like and how much money you're willing to part with, and we'll make sure that you get that. Because we're not just gonna, we're not just gonna accept your money and not give you anything in response. So, or in return. So,
Mm.
no. So go ahead and do that. Check it out. And then we've got freedomscoop.com. Find all of our stuff and other lesser and unimportant creators, such as Jay Edgar and Stephen Ignoramus. We got Wyatt from the Breakdown with Birkenhoff. We got Already Conservative and the Freckles and Brit Show over there as well. And if you still feel like giving it amazing, we got t-shirts and we got mugs. So make sure you go and check those out. They're nice and cool and comfortable. My shirts lasted quite a while. And if you put in the code GenGap at checkout, get 15% off your purchase. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
I like 15%.
We
You know, I'll leave you with a funny anecdote. I was watching. You watched the show or have ever heard of the Weakest Link? So
Yeah, we watched it together that one time.
girl
Kind of.
girls on there. She gets asked the question, and I can see how it would be so tough. If the rapper 50 Cent gave you a dime and a nickel, what would his new name be? And this was an
Oh,
educated woman,
right.
and she had to pass because after about 15, 20 seconds, she couldn't figure out the answer.
Hmm.
That's sad. That's where math has gotten to these days, folks. I didn't, and that's what she said on the rant. I didn't know there was going to be math.
I mean, I get it. I would say the same thing. I'd be like, I did not sign up for math. But it would be
I
35 cents, right? You said a nickel
right,
and a
right,
dime?
a dime and a
Yeah,
nickel, and I'm like,
yeah.
you, how have you ever
No,
made
I get
change?
it.
Have you ever made change? Come on.
No, I get it because, when the pressure is on. Like, if you're not in that kind of pressure situation, it's a lot easier to, make a judgment on someone. But, you got the whole crowd around you. Everyone else, although the contestants are there, you got this fucking bossy woman, eyeing you down, staring you down,
Whatever.
and then you're in the hot seat, and you're like, "Oh shit."
No,
I get it.
you gotta bring your fucking A game, or you don't come at all. This ain't the goddamn Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal.
Right. Well,
You get
speaking of 50 Cent, I guess quickly before we go, um, I don't know if you remember, there's on Nickelodeon, they had their own kind of SNL kind of show, but it was called All That,
mm,
and they had this one recurring character. He was this little kid, and he had like the Flavor Flav clock on and like this big goblet, like he was a rapper, and his name was Five Dime. I
Five
thought that
Dime.
was pretty clever.
That's funny.
I still remember that to this day. I thought that was like really clever.
Nice. All right. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
we're gonna get the hell out of here. Please make sure and hit the
Oh,
like button if you haven't already.
real
Hit.
quick though, Random Randy's asking if we have a mug club. No, but that sounds like something that would be awesome to do. In fact, I think I might make a subscribe star tier where if you give enough money, you get a T-shirt for free or a mug for free or something like that. I'll have to. I can't make that decision on my own, so I'll have to run it by some people and see if I can. So keep on the lookout for that because that might happen. That's a good idea.
Have to run that through the production team.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get the hell out of here. As I was saying, make sure and hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if for whatever reason you're not subscribed to us, because honestly, it's un-American to be unsubscribed to us. But we are going to be back again on Friday for our regular episode at 8:30 p.m. Friday night. Then you can follow us again, check us out again on Monday night. We should be here for another episode of Fill in the Gap at 9:30 on Monday. And then once again, a week from now, we'll be back at 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday night for another rousing episode of Shooting the Shit. And all of those times are the Eastern time zone, the one and only true time zone, not to be confused with all the other posers out there. We are going to get the hell out of here. Welcome to the new regime. I mean, administration.
Welcome
Welcome,
jungle.
welcome to the new administration. Hang on, it might be a ride. Who knows? Outside of that, John, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you real soon. Have yourselves a wonderful night, folks. Peace out.
See you guys.
The war will begin.